Um, I just wanted to make this video as a info dump, um, and most likely it'll stay infinitely obscure, but um, my name is Benjamin Duke. I belong to the band Egress, or Egress Official. Um, this video is basically just a information dump of the history of the band so far. And so yeah. Um, well, if we were going back to the beginning, I'd have to say that the ending of elementary school and going into 7th grade would be how it starts. So for me, I was really pressured by adults in my life and friends and peers and teachers and stuff to think about what I was going to do as a job and what I want to do for the rest of my life, basically. And I decided at first that it would be like fine arts. So drawing stuff, or fine arts or digital arts. So just drawing stuff. Um, and doing drawings and stuff was my favorite pastime in class, out of class, just so long as I was at school. And then whenever I got home, it was just video games all day. And I when they came to us asking us like what classes we wanted when we went into 7th grade, they gave us an option for an elective, which is just a class you choose. And there weren't really any interesting ones other than art, and I chose that for my elective 7th grade year. And it was pretty fun, but I soon realized that I was not as artistically skilled as my peers and as the person who was teaching me. So that dream became pretty much a loose fantasy. And but I was still giving it a try. I still wanted to improve, and I gave it another year in 8th grade. But at the end of 7th grade, I pretty much knew that I was not going to become the artist that I wanted to be. Um, Originally, I wanted to be something like an animator or just all around artist, commission artist, whatever. And then at the end of 7th grade, I was pretty sure that I was never going to do that. So I got really depressed and bummed and stuff and started listening to a lot of music. And before that point, I never really got interested by music. I mean, it was always in my life, sure, and I had a variation of stuff because my parents listened to a lot, but never really got into it until that summer when I was really down and bummed and started listening and paying attention to the lyrics that they were saying and how profound that they were. And I was listening to bands like Nirvana, Gorillaz, Coldplay, Linkin Park, stuff like that. And I got really inspired, and I wanted to start playing guitar to learn those songs. And fortunately, I had a guitar from a couple of years back when I was like 10 or something, when my mom decided that playing video games all day was not that much of a hobby, so she wanted me to develop a hobby that I did outside of school. And she basically took me to an instrument shop in San Dimas and said, either you're going to learn piano or you're going to learn guitar. And I chose guitar because I was scared of sheet music, and honestly, that's pretty accurate. I'm never going to learn sheet music fully. It's just too tedious and complicated. So, I mean, maybe I'll learn it. Who knows? But whatever. Point is, I never did. I went to like a couple of practices there for a couple weeks, and all the instructor really had me doing was placing my fingers on the fretboard and fretting out a couple notes. Basically just going 2nd fret, 4th fret, 5th fret on each of the strings, and just learning how to push my fingers down, which I suppose was useful, but honestly, it was a waste of time for the amount of money that my mom was spending and the amount of time I was spending at the place. So she pulled me out and we stopped doing it, and the guitar got lost in my room and sat in the corner for like 2 years. And then I got really inspired and in that summer, and downloaded an app that helped me learn chords and stuff, and actually taught me how to play guitar. And then I stopped using that app and looked up Marty Schwartz and all of his tutorials, and he basically taught me guitar. And I just listened to the songs and figured out the rhythm and the strumming patterns that they did, pretty much by ear. But I always looked up the chords on like ultimateguitartabs.com or something, or like Marty Schwartz. From there, 8th grade started, and I met Daniel because he was in my PE class at the end of the day. And Daniel and I were walking up the hill from the locker rooms with a couple of friends, and I said to them, hey, I wanted to start a band because I'm learning guitar right now, and I thought it'd be cool to play with other musicians. And he said, oh, cool, I'm playing and learning drums right now. Let's exchange numbers and like ask our parents if we can hang out sometime. And so we did that, and I took a picture of him for my contact information, and I still have that picture. It's great. If I figure out a way to put it on screen, I will. And then we started practicing together for a while, and then in October or something, I figured out that the school was having a talent show, and I signed us up. and I didn't tell Daniel that I signed us up until after we were confirmed. And and he was like, wait, what? We're playing in the talent show? And I was like, yeah, it's cool. This will be an opportunity to perform. And like, he was really nervous for it. And I mean, I was too, but I was the one that signed us up for it and pushed us to do stuff like that. And so I went over to his house pretty much every week on Fridays and Saturdays and stuff. And then the talent show came, and we bombed. It was pretty bad. There's a recording of it if you find it. That's pretty much the most embarrassing thing you can find to show me. But we did that, and it was a lot of fun. Honestly, we didn't even know that we bombed until we saw the recording. And we went on from there to just hang out pretty much every weekend with each other, just practicing and showing each other new material. But that only really started when at one of the practices before the talent show happened, I showed him this song that I was working on that I didn't really have any lyrics for because I wasn't even considering singing back then. And he really liked it, and that song became Evergreen. So Evergreen is the first song that was ever written for Egress. And we basically spent that summer not doing much. I was writing most of the material for the first album, which is Hibiscus, and he was listening to my recordings that I sent him and coming up with drum parts, and he's amazing, so he did it like that, you know. And when high school started, we basically just focused on that for a little bit, and yeah, wait, okay, I gotta think about this. I'll do a timeline at the end of the video or whatever, but so 9th grade started. We basically just did nothing, pretty much. We were spending all of our time writing material and showing each other cool things that we do or that we came up with. And we would just have jam sessions and play songs together, and it would be fun. And then October of 10th grade, so 2019, October of 2019, we played our first Halloween show at our friend George's house, and we played with Rebirth, but they weren't called Rebirth back then. They were called like Adolescence or something or whatever. But same members, same deal. It was Rebirth and us. And so they played first because they had dibs and they set up the whole thing. And we played second into the night. And a lot of people came in during our set, and it was a lot of fun. Mostly people that were younger than us, but we invited basically all of our friends. So they were all there, and that was really all that mattered. And they all liked the material, and it was really cool because at the end everybody was cheering and stuff because we played Poltergeist, and it was like really cool. Then November of that same year, we opened up for a band called Beneath the Tide, which was basically this project that was started by this guy called John Caesar, and he was a senior that was older than us. And he was playing with a couple seniors too, and they were good, but like they didn't let us play anything. We opened up with only like one song, and then we played a song with them, but we only played Poltergeist, and that was it. And we asked them like, hey, can we play more? And they were like, no. And so we were like, okay, it's their show, it's their rules, we can't really do anything about that. And then 2020 started. I started recording the album at my house because I got an audio interface for Christmas, and started recording stuff for Hibiscus. And then COVID happened, and that basically shot all of our plans. And then yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. Notable events that have happened since then is that we practiced a couple times, but not really. And then we did a Halloween thing again, just a Poltergeist recording, and we're really proud of that. It has cool lights and stuff, and that was nice. So yeah, this is like the timeline part. So 2017, the summer of 2017, got really depressed and bummed and started learning how to play guitar to make myself feel better. And then met Daniel in September of 2017 or something. And then I signed us up for the talent show in October of 2017. We played the talent show in March of 2018. Our first song was written around February or early March of 2018. And then we were basically done with all of the tracks on Hibiscus, except for like one or two, by early 2019, somewhere around April or something. And then after that, we played a Halloween show at my friend George's house, October 2019. And then we played at Beneath the Tides thing in 2019, November. And then COVID happened and we stopped playing, and then we did a couple practices here and there. And then we did our Halloween recording of Poltergeist in 2020 on October. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really have any little trivia, I guess. That's it. This is the info dump. Hopefully this isn't nearly as annoying as I think it would be, but um, I hope it was interesting. So yeah.